Irv Gotti's funeral service took place in New York City on a somber Wednesday, bringing together some of the biggest names in the industry to pay their final respects to the late music mogul. The atmosphere was thick with emotion as artists, executives, and close friends gathered to honor a man whose influence stretched far beyond the music charts. His impact on hip-hop culture was undeniable, and his presence in the lives of those who knew him best left an indelible mark. Sources inside the service revealed that the funeral was a heartfelt celebration of Irv's life and legacy. His Murder Incorporated. Family was there in full force, with Ja Rule, Ashanti, Lloyd, Charlie Baltimore, and Vita standing in solidarity with his grieving family. It was a reunion of sorts, one that no one had ever wanted under these tragic circumstances, but they all knew they had to be there to say goodbye to the man who had brought them together in the first place. Beyond the Murder Incorporated roster, a host of other hip-hop heavyweights were present. Jay-Z, a longtime friend and collaborator of Irv's, attended the service, his expression somber as he reflected on the memories they had shared over the decades. Fat Joe, another close friend, was seen consoling members of Irv's family, offering words of encouragement and strength. Steve Stout, a major figure in the industry and someone who had worked closely with Irv, was also in attendance, as were visionary directors Hype Williams and Benny Boom, both of whom had worked on iconic music videos that helped define the Murder Incorporated era. Angie Martinez, the voice of New York hip-hop, was there to pay her respects, along with members of the legendary Rough Riders crew, a testament to the deep connections Irv had built over the years. The service itself was deeply moving. One of the most powerful moments came when Ja Rule took the stage to deliver a heartfelt eulogy for his lifelong friend. Fighting back tears, he struggled to find the right words to express the magnitude of his grief. "I love you, my brother. See you when I get there," he said, his voice breaking as the weight of the loss became too much to bear. Those in attendance could feel the raw pain in his words, and not a single person in the room was left unmoved. The stories that followed painted a picture of a man who was fiercely loyal, incredibly passionate, and always determined to lift up those around him. The homegoing service was held at the Greater Allen AME Cathedral of New York, a place of deep spiritual significance. As the ceremony concluded, there was one final tribute to Irv, a procession through his beloved Queens neighborhood, a place that had shaped him into the visionary he became. The funeral procession made several important stops, each one tied to a significant chapter of Irv's life. First, they visited the park where he had first honed his DJ skills, a place where his passion for music had taken root. It was there that he had spent countless hours practicing, dreaming of a future in the industry that he would one day help shape. From there, the procession moved to the house where Irv had grown up, a modest home that had been the backdrop to so many of his formative experiences. Family members and friends paused in front of the house, some shedding tears, others sharing quiet smiles as they remembered the young, ambitious kid who had once lived there, determined to carve out his place in the world. It was a moment of deep reflection, a reminder of how far he had come and how many lives he had touched along the way. Irv Gotti, born Irving Domingo Lorenzo Jr., had built an empire with Murder Incorporated, shaping the sound of early 2000s hip-hop and R&B with an unmistakable blend of grit and melody. He was a visionary who believed in his artists wholeheartedly, pushing them to reach their full potential and refusing to let the industry dictate his creative vision. His impact was felt not just in music but in the culture at large. His storytelling ability, his ear for talent, and his relentless hustle set him apart as one of the most influential figures in hip-hop history. His passing on February 5th at the age of 54 sent shockwaves through the music world. The news of his death, caused by multiple strokes after years of battling health issues, left fans and colleagues in disbelief. Though he had been a larger-than-life presence, seemingly unstoppable in his drive and ambition, his mortality was a stark reminder that even the strongest among us are not immune to time and fate. Given his towering legacy, even those who had once been his adversaries felt compelled to pay their respects. One of the most surprising reactions came from 50 Cent, who had long been one of Irv's most vocal critics. The feud between 50 Cent and Murder Incorporated had been one of the most infamous rivalries in hip-hop history, filled with diss tracks, heated exchanges, and real-life confrontations. Yet, despite their long-standing animosity, even 50 had to acknowledge the significance of Irv's contributions to the culture. In his own unique way, he paid tribute, a rare moment of solemnity from an artist known for his ruthless approach to beef. The loss of Irv Gotti leaves a void that will not easily be filled. He was a pioneer, a fighter, and a man who truly loved the art of music. His influence will live on through the countless artists he mentored, the classic records he helped create, and the fans who continue to celebrate his legacy. As the hip-hop community mourns, one thing is certain: his impact will never be forgotten. The final farewell was filled with a mix of sorrow and gratitude. Though those who loved him grieved deeply, they also took solace in knowing that his legacy was secure. His story was one of triumph, of a man who had defied the odds, built something from nothing, and left behind a body of work that would stand the test of time. As his friends and family gathered one last time to honor him, they knew that while Irv Gotti may have left this world, his spirit would continue to inspire generations to come. The hip-hop industry, known for its highly competitive and sometimes contentious nature, showed a rare moment of unity as they gathered to remember Irv Gotti. The man had touched countless lives, and this was evident in the sheer diversity of attendees at his service. Artists from all subgenres of hip-hop, from the street-hardened rappers of the East Coast to the laid-back MCs of the West Coast, came together in a show of solidarity. Their differences were set aside, if only for a day, to honor a figure who had in many ways shaped their careers and the very fabric of the industry. As the attendees filed into the cathedral, the air was filled with whispered recollections of Irv's more personal moments, those that might not have made it to the headlines but were nonetheless monumental to those who experienced them. Stories of late-night studio sessions, heated debates over creative direction, and the sheer excitement of listening to a finished track for the first time painted a fuller picture of Irv Gotti. He was a man who lived and breathed music, and his energy was infectious to those around him. The eulogies given by Irv's peers weren't just about recounting his professional achievements, they were also filled with anecdotes that spoke to his character. Ja Rule's tearful farewell was just one of many heartfelt tributes. Each speaker had their own unique take on what made Irv special, but a common theme emerged: his unwavering loyalty and dedication to his friends and family. He wasn't just a boss or a business partner. To many, he was a brother, a mentor, and a guiding light. Irv's impact on the music industry was profound, but it was also personal. For those who knew him well, he was more than just a producer or a label head. He was someone who fought for his artists, sometimes against incredible odds. He navigated the murky waters of the music industry with a tenacity that was both awe-inspiring and, at times, intimidating. His reputation for being relentless in his pursuit of success was well known, but it was his quieter, more reflective moments that left the deepest impressions on those closest to him.